Hello and good morning. It's been a very long, well, it's a very long time. It's been a couple of weeks since I did one of these uploads because things have been a little bit busy. Such is the high priorityness of this this here vlog post that I haven't even bothered to have a shower or anything else yet. Before making myself beautiful, I decided that I really had to get this done. So here we are. Complete with Jedi suit. Check it out. Yeah, so the past 2 weeks, I mean, I wish I could say that they've been more exciting. They've been very, very busy. And a lot of kind of mundane work stuff that I won't bore you with. But it's been very time consuming and at times very stressful. So I've had a lot of things to try and get done there. So it hasn't really left as much time as I had over the course of my first 2 weeks to run around and have fun and whatever. Although there has been some of that, which I shall now recount. Before further ado, I suppose I should show you my apartment. People have mentioned they want to see the apartment, so I suppose we should get this out of the way. Come. Right, so this is my wonderful whiteboard, and actually let's go back over here and kind of get a full view of the whole place. So there's my front door, yay. My bathroom, we'll go there eventually. Here is my room. Notice that I have one of my these shade things that you pull down. It's a kind of drop down curtain, is a bear on a moon. I did ask the man very politely to please take away the bear on the moon because I'm a man and it's strange, but well, they seem to kind of think that, well, I should be keeping it, so I'm keeping it. Apparently, I'm used to him. Actually, when I first got here, I just thought, oh shit, but now I he just sort of fades into the general scenery. So here's my my kitchen setup. There are some blueberries defrosting, yay, and that's my fan. Ingenious setup over here, even though I say so myself. That is my rice cooker, and of course when it cooks, it spits loads of steam, ricey steam up into the air. So the fan has been ingeniously placed so that it kind of gets knocked over here, then this knocks it that way, and it all travels towards the window, which is currently behind this here lamp. I suppose I should just have to put this down for a moment and kind of put this up so that you can see what it looks like in the morning. Okay, right. So go around here. Do this. Right, I'm back, and well, this is kind of, well, we stand back here. This is the kind of window view, which is not particularly exciting, of course, but if I look outside of my window, down there is the well, the cars and things. These are all broken. They're all being fixed. This, I think, is actually a mechanic's. Bizarrely enough, it's just that it's all done on a high-rise. Really weird. And this is a very, very posh building. It's called the Monaco, and it's brand new. No one's really moved into it yet. I see people moving into their offices all the time down there and moving desks around and things. And it's a very, very, very nice building. It's much less sort of Star Wars looking than Samsung, and I like that. I don't know if I would like looking out, kind of straight onto the Samsung building, because it just looks so bloody evil. Oh, this is my my history timeline. 3,000 years of world history. Isn't it great? Let's go over to here. 700. What was it? BC. Look. Egypt. The Chow Empire. The Assyrians. Okay, right. So, let's do that again. And try and oh shit, the bathroom. Okay, so right, through here we have the bathroom. There is me in the mirror holding the camera, the stuff, you get the general idea. That's a shower. You know what they are. It does what it's supposed to do. Here is a cupboard with other things inside it. Right, okay, right. There is also some form of koala on the wall. I don't know why. Right, okay, so that's that covered. That's the apartment. Right. Okay, that looks relatively straight. Okay, so yes, I have well for the past while not been doing much. As I say, I've been in the apartment. Occasionally I kind of wander around with USB pens and ask my neighbours if they can kindly put a few episodes of whatever their favourite program is onto a little USB thumb drive, so that I can watch something and kind of be entertained in my home, because there isn't really a hell of a lot to do. So that's been a bit of a pain in the ass, but it's likely to all be settled relatively soon. I went to immigration, I think a couple of weeks ago now. I think it was a while ago. So I should, in theory, be able to connect to the internet and get a funky new smartphone and whatever very, very soon. So that will be nice. We had, in fact, a holiday, not last week, but the week before. And, again, slept for most of it. But there were some very interesting things that did happen. I was supposed to go to a fun park, roller coasters and all that sort of thing, and I thought, I'm really tired and I don't know if a roller coaster is what I want to be on. I couldn't see it going well, so I decided not to. But then sort of regretted it and was sitting at home thinking, oh damn, I'm back in my apartment. No one's put programs on my USB thumb drive. I have made a terrible mistake. And then my next door neighbour, Jeff, knocked on my door. I was in the shower, but, new home and whatever, and, worried that it's the police or something. I go to the door and open up, and it's Jeff, and Jeff says that he's going to a rooftop barbecue for the holidays at a friend of his place. His name is Nevada. His friend is called Nevada, who's a very very interesting, very gay man who has created this beautiful rooftop kind of garden area, which he calls the Hanging Gardens of Fabulon, because it's fabulous. So he went there. and it was a fantastic time. Meeting Nevada was an experience. He's a fascinating individual. He's lived in Korea for, I think it's 19 years, 18, 19 years. Speaks fluent Korean. Has two large kind of dinghies in his in his garden, which was very interesting. I mean, they're kind of like paddling pool things, big paddling pool things. So we sat in one of these big kind of, big paddling pool, small swimming pool, and we all got very drunk. Oh, there was a duck. He has a duck as well. So we got drunk with a duck. A real, honest to God, mallard. So that was interesting. I met lots of very interesting people. I met a man called Gerald, who is South Korean, but grew up in California, I think. And he makes advertisements, TV advertisements. Very interesting guy, very knowledgeable about his craft. There's also Lex. Lex is another very interesting man. He is also American, and he was very, very knowledgeable, is very knowledgeable about Shakespeare, and he plays a rather substantial role in all the theatre things that go on in Seoul. So I'm staying in touch with him and hoping that perhaps later on I will be able to assist in some way with his various projects that he has going on. He is a full-time actor as well in Seoul. He's just recently started doing that as a full-time occupation, and he was, I think, struggling slightly because I don't think it pays particularly well all the time. But he was making ends meet, and it was good to see a man doing what it is that he wants to do. He was obviously very happy about the fact that he'd finally made, the decision to stick to acting. He showed me a video actually of him on Korean TV on his phone, and they'd employed him to do an impersonation of Hitler in full-on, uniform and tash and comb over and whatever. And it was quite disturbing because the funny thing is that even though he looks nothing like Hitler, he really did look quite a lot like Hitler in this program. So he said he was quite disturbed by the whole thing, and I can't really blame him. Who else did I meet? I met a man called Temba. Temba was a man from England with long black dreadlocks and a very posh accent, who came to Korea with his business partner in order to sell light bulbs to the West. So he's now selling light bulbs, and he was a very interesting man. He'd opened a number of successful businesses, and I think he's younger than me. Really, really interesting guy. Temba was quite interesting. Anyway, so this was all at the garden party, and we had a great time, and fantastic time had by all. I spent a while sitting downstairs with a bunch of Korean filmmakers, practicing my Korean, failing miserably, of course, but hey, early days. I then decided to kind of just walk off. The party had ended, and I was in a new area, so I thought I may as well explore. And I did, and I went into this bar, Dillinger's, I think it was called, and ran into a few American people, very, very friendly, very, very easy. Not easy people, easy. It was easy to socialise. So I went to the kind of smoking area place and just sort of said hello. Very easy to do in smoking areas. Hello. And they, turned around and was like, "Oh, you've got a British accent." I said, yes, I do. And before long, about a minute later, I'm sitting at this table with 3 American people and a glass of whiskey that somebody very kindly bought me. So that was nice. Anyway, it turned out that one of them was, I don't know, clinically insane. It just wasn't immediately apparent. What did happen? We went to a bar of some description, and then for whatever reason, these 2 girls disappeared, and I was left with this guy who insisted that as this was still my first month in Korea, which it was, but now isn't as of today. I have been in Korea for just over 1 month. He decided to kind of take me out on the town and take me to all the places that were really happening. And I said, okay, well, that's fine. Okay, lead the way. And he did. And it was funny because everywhere we went to was completely empty. And he'd kind of run into these places and like burst through the door and go, and then it wasn't really happening. And bless him, he looked a little bit embarrassed. And then we kind of went on to the next place in hope of greater things. That took pretty much all night, I think. I ended up going to that's what I ended up doing. I ended up going to the playground, which I've already mentioned in a previous post. There is this fantastic playground in Daegu, so I went to a playground and met some interesting people in the playground, as I always do. Very reliable place. One very nice Estonian girl and her Greek friend. And then we danced salsa in the playground, badly. My Korean is better than my salsa dancing. And my Korean really isn't very good. So, but, it was fun, and she was very, forgiving. So that was nice. I met some more interesting people. There were some crazy folk kind of having fights and stuff. Never very serious fights in the playground, but it was interesting. It was nice to have some drama because it was far away. It was far away from us. Saw it all in the distance, playing out as if for us. So what else? So that was Nevada's party and my sort of after party type thing. What else have I done? I've been to the park with one of my next door neighbours. Her name is Denitsa. I work with her. She's from Peru, and her husband, whose name is Danny, and they're very, very interesting people. They moved to America a long, long time ago, to the US, and I think one of them was living illegally there for a very, very, very long time, up until very recently. But it's all kosher now, so no one can get rid of them or anything. So not endangering their household or anything by posting this. We haven't provided last names anyway. It'd be really difficult to use this in a court of law. Anyway, so she's a very, very nice girl. We went to this park. We found this crazy, it was this thing, it was like that big. I don't know if this scale really works. It was like a spider with long, bright yellow legs and a long, thin, yellow body, like a larva. So it was like a larva with legs. Really weird creature. But it turns out that nobody knows what the hell this thing was. It may have been one of a kind. I may have discovered something. So we saw that, but it looked really poisonous. So I hope I hope I don't see one again. Unless perhaps I have a little box and sell it. But so anyway, we found some very interesting local fauna, and we went to this park and had some makgeolli, which is this kind of very thick rice whiskey stuff, which is all right. And we had fried chicken, and read our books and enjoyed the park and played cards and whatever. And yes, Danny, Denitra and I have become friends, and we see each other occasionally and go for pizza and whatnot. We've been out clubbing a few times. It's been fun. We celebrated Danny's birthday. Spent far too much money for quite a bad headache the following day, but it was a good experience. It was good to meet lots of new folk. Actually, another person that I've befriended in the building is this girl called Stacia. She's from New York, and we've formed a study group. So every Tuesday and Thursday we finish work and go and get our heads down and hit the books. I study Korean, she studies for something called a GMAT, some American thing that she wants to do. So it's been good, been very good socialising with them. What else? I was invited to a student of mine's home recently, old student. He's in his 50s, I believe. So nothing dodgy, all above board and accepted by the establishment. So I went there on Saturday, and that was fantastic. Bless him, I didn't realise on Friday he'd actually left school early to go home and make preparations for my arrival the following day. And this very nice student called Olivia travelled for an hour to get to my home, only to get into a bus, and it took us another hour to get to the actual place for lunch. And it turned out that she actually was travelling for 4 hours that day just to go and have lunch. And apparently this is a done thing. Korean people apparently spend a lot of time on transport, and this is the way life is for a lot of folks here. They travel extremely long distances all the time. So I'm very thankful to her. So I met up with her, another one of my students, Emily, and Monte and his family. His brother-in-law was there with his wife, and their 2 children. He had a child as well. So I had 3 children who were very shy and didn't really know how to deal with there being a Western man in the room. It was really quite a foreign feeling for them, and they really made a big deal out of it. They made this huge banquet. And apparently these things just aren't done for birthdays or Christmas or anything. It was, having a foreigner around was a massively big deal. I was speechless. I was given gifts and all sorts. I was given a big tub of what's called bulgogi, which is like this really, really nice kind of marinated meat, all very, very, very good and healthy, and they spent an incredibly long time preparing all this stuff, and I didn't really know what to say. They spoiled me rotten, and then we all played this game, which you kind of grab 4 sticks, and they're perfectly cylindrical, except that they've sort of shorn off a kind of flat side, a flat, one bit's flat. One side of the cylinder is slightly flat. There we go. Which means you chuck them up in the air, and they either land on the round side or the flat side. And effectively it's a replacement for die. They don't use dice. They have these sticks that you chuck up in the air, and all the numbers that you end up with correspond to animals. So they land and people go pig or duck or sheep, horse, bull, and you then have this very simple board game, and you move your counters around and try and sort of, well, kill each other. And it was a great game. It was brilliant. We bet, because gambling is all the rage. So we didn't gamble very much money, because they figured that I would probably lose, and I did. But yeah, so I ended up losing 1,000 to 1, which is about, I don't know, 50p or something stupid. So yeah, that was fun. It was an amazing welcome, and really a big eye opener, because kind of here I am kind of largely, especially at the moment, the way that I arrived here, I'm kind of here in service of the ELT machine, English language teaching machine. But yeah, these guys, they weren't obviously there to exploit me, much to the contrary. They were, more than willing to be exploited for everything they had, and that was really nice. But we brought a gift to the home. I bought 12 Krispy Kreme donuts, and the girls picked up a very elaborate box of God knows what, some sort of Parisian thing. It was a great time. It'll be nice to see Monte again today. We'll be meeting him very soon. And I have to go now because it's coming up to 8:30. So I'll be at work in an hour. Still need to shower and do other things. And I've also got editing work to do. My next door neighbour wants me to help him out with these essays that he's received from a few students, and has asked me if I can kind of do some samples for him, to kind of show him if I can kind of do this editing work. And I don't really want, the funny thing is that I've got no interest in having a job on the side. I just kind of wanted to be nice and say yes, I'll help you with what's clearly a really big deal for you. So he turns up at my place yesterday with 4 essays. And I said I was going to do 1. I've got 4. Oh. And then he calls me last night going, "Where are they?" I said, "On my desk, where I put them when you came in. But I need them for tonight." I said, "We're not done. I'm in bed. I'm going to sleep." So he's there was some misunderstanding there. So anyway, to keep peace with the neighbour, I have to edit 4 essays now, which is a pain in the arse, but never mind. So it's going to be another very busy day, and I don't imagine that I'll be posting for at least another week as usual. That said, of course, I've missed a couple of weeks, but I will try to stick to the weekly thing. And I might get my ARC, my alien registration card, this week. With any luck, I'll be receiving it this week, which means that the next time I upload, I will hopefully be uploading from my apartment. And I won't have to worry about kind of going down to work and doing things that way, which is always a bit of an annoyance. Anyway, I better wrap up there.